Welcome back to another 3-day adventure through one of my favorite areas right here in my own backyard. This time we're headed up into the rugged beauty of Coyote Flats, a place of high trails, alpine meadows, and endless views that always feels like pure Sierra magic. All right, so I'm just outside of Lone Pine, and it's Friday evening actually, and I'm just trying to really figure out what to do. I was gonna head one place, thinking about going another place. Now the brain's going too many places. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head up this road into the White Mountains, and it's already 6 o'clock. By the time I get settled, it'll be 8. Find a place, camp, open up the Starlink, turn on the Gaia, or turn on the Onyx, and figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. I think that's the plan. I'll let you know if that changes. Yvon Chouinard, founder of Patagonia, once said, "Adventure begins when plans end," and this weekend is no exception. What started as a plan for the White Mountains has already taken a serious twist. Instead of following the original route, we now find ourselves hip deep in a brand new adventure, climbing out of the desert, crawling over rocks, and searching for that first camp of the trip. It's not the path I planned, but that's the beauty of it. Out here, the detours are often the best part of the journey. So let's get this story started at the trailhead where many, many adventures begin. If you're new to off-roading, one of the first things to learn is airing down. This simply means lowering the pressure in your tires. By doing so, you smooth out the ride, increase traction on rough terrain, and help reduce wear and tear on both the trail and your rig. It's a small step that makes a big difference when traveling off the pavement. While there are several systems to aid this process, I would strongly suggest doing your own research and figuring out if and how airing down may improve your adventure while ensuring your personal safety. All right, let's air down. Finally got off the highway. Been on 395 for a really long time getting up here. Going up into one of my favorite areas in the Inyo National Forest. It's a place where I usually just go to the same spot all the time, but there's all of these little offshoots. So tomorrow I just want to spend the day adventuring and exploring all of those little offshoots. I am losing light. It's currently about 7 o'clock. I probably got about an hour and a half of light, which will not get me very far up the hill. So once I'm done airing down, I'm probably just gonna pack up really quick, put the camera away, get on the trail. I'm not gonna fly the drone or anything. I'm just going to maybe grab some shots like out the window along the trail until I get to camp. And then I will pick you guys up at camp. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm kind of excited. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Today, we're just outside of Bishop, California, sitting at about 5,800 feet of elevation. This spot marks the base of one of the many gateways into the Eastern Sierra, where we will be exploring for the next several days. Once on the trail, where loose sand drifts and sagebrush stretches endlessly towards the horizon, the rig hums along as we slowly climb. The dry heat clinging to everything, the smell of dust heavy in the air. Out here the landscape feels raw, wide open, and unforgiving. But as the miles tick by, the road tilts upwards, and the desert begins to fade behind us. Each turn of the trail pulls us higher. The soft sand gives way to firmer ground, the
The scattered boulders begin to mark the path. The muted browns and tans of the desert slowly shift towards greens and grays as the first junipers appear twisted and resilient, clinging to the rocky soil. There's a sense of transition, of crossing a threshold into a new world.
So, we're working our way up the trail. We're starting to get into some junipers and out of the desert, which is great. The sun's super low in the sky and can be straight in the windshield. But yeah, it was 106 coming up the Owens Valley. So I gotta make sure I get some. Elevation, so that things are cool and we'll be able to sleep well tonight. Get ready for a big day of exploring tomorrow. So we're just gonna keep grinding up the trail, and I've got a couple ideas as to where to camp as long as nobody's there. But it is a Friday night, so there's a good chance somebody may be there. See you soon.
The climb continues, the air growing cooler, the rig working steadily as we navigate the rocky shelves and rutted climbs. Shadows stretch differently here. The light filters through branches instead of bouncing harshly off the sand. The soundtrack changes too. The crunch of the gravel, the whisper of the wind through the trees, and the faint call of birds replacing the silence of the desert.
Yeah, things are just continuing to get better and better. Prettier and prettier as we climb up. A lot more trees. Completely out. Still got some of the sagebrush, but we've got pine trees everywhere, and it's slowly going down. The temperature. It's down to about 87 degrees as we continue to climb up. I'm gonna run up this little road here and see if I can get into this camp spot. If anybody's here. Hopefully it cools off.
And finally, as evening sets in, we reach our camp, nestled in among junipers, framed by massive granite boulders that seem to guard the site. It feels like this place was carved out just for us. The chaos of the desert below is gone, replaced by calm, shelter, and beauty. This is the reward of the climb. An amazing campsite that embodies the signature look and the spirit of the Eastern Sierra.
That'll do. All right, let me figure out where we're gonna get set up. All right, so I think camp is found. Bunch of rocks. This is beautiful. A fire pit.
Now that camp has been found, the real work begins, turning a patch of wild ground into our home for the night. We take a few moments to study the space, deciding where the truck should sit, where to set up a kitchen, how to make it all flow together. Each move is about balance, maximizing comfort, protecting against the wind, and creating a place that feels both functional and inviting. Piece by piece, the camp takes shape, and the wilderness around us begins to feel like home.
So camp is made, and or camp is found. Still got to make camp, still got to set everything up, but this is an amazing spot. I've driven through here a bunch of times on the way to somewhere else further up the trail, and I've always thought, you know, maybe one day I'll camp here. And tonight seems like the perfect night. That way tomorrow when I get up, I can bring you with me, and I can show you a lot more of this space up here while we explore. So yeah, it's still kind of warm. It's about 85 degrees and it's 8 o'clock at night. So that's gonna, I don't know, that's not gonna make sleeping super easy, but we'll sort it out. I'm gonna go set up the camper, Starlink, get all the basic stuff set up, and then maybe make a dinner, and we'll go from there.
With camp finally chosen and the logistics figured out, the AT Overland habitat transforms the truck in minutes. Quick release of the latches, lifting the roof, the whole space opens into a comfortable shelter. The sleeping quilt, the gear already inside, the windows can be unzipped to let through the breeze, and just like that, the rig becomes home. It's a design built for simplicity and speed, turning any patch of ground into base camp, ready for the night ahead.
And just like that, camp's all set up. So it's about 8 o'clock. I'm going to probably make some dinner at some point. I'm not really hungry, had a big burrito on the way up, but make some dinner. And then, I don't know, there's a fire ban, so I can't really burn any wood, but I do have propane, so I may have a propane fire tonight, or I may save that for tomorrow night and just climb into the camper. I've got some editing to do. I'm working on a huge backlog of content that I recorded before I decided to start this whole YouTube thing. So yeah, just to give you a stamp in time, I just recorded my first Oregon day, or second Oregon day, and I've still got the rest of Oregon. I've got all of Colorado. I've got a week-long trip through Arizona and Utah with Johnny Taco and Adventure Squad, Jeff. And then I've got 2 or 3 days up in the Sierras that I filmed 2 weeks ago. And we're gonna have this weekend too. So my goal is to kind of get caught up, so I've got a bunch in the bag, and that way I'll be able to, you know, post one every week for you guys and make it consistent. Anyway, I'll continue to capture stuff for you guys and show you a lot of the things that I'm seeing so that I can actually watch it later and see it myself. Anyway, I'm gonna go think about dinner and go from there. Got that view. The whole valley looking across the White Mountains. Super stuff. I'm super excited to camp here. I've seen this place a number of times. Again, I stop by frequently, check it out, and I've never always been in too big of a hurry. So tonight is perfect. It'll set me up for tomorrow. There's actually some people, I just realized, camping not too far down the road. Hopefully they're looking for a quiet night, because that's what I'm in the mood for.
As the sun slips behind the horizon, the Sierra begins its transformation. The brilliant colors of day, those deep alpine blues and vibrant greens, start to fade, replaced by softer tones that settle gently across the mountains. The light stretches thin, pulling long shadows through the trees and across the granite. The landscape takes on a near monochromatic palette, as if the world has been sketched in charcoal and silver. But with this simplicity lies a whole new kind of beauty, quiet, reserved, and deeply calming. The wind softens, the sound of the forest grows more distinct, and there's a sense that the range itself may be taking a deep breath and settling in for the night. It's a reminder that the Sierra doesn't just shine in its vivid colors under the midday sun. It also carries this understated elegance at dusk, where every contour, every tree line, every rock face tells a story of shadow and light. Out here, both day and night bring their own rewards, and the moments in between might just be the most beautiful of all. Make sure to join us next week for part 2 as we spend the entire day exploring Coyote Flats, from rugged trails, water crossings, to hidden campsites and alpine lakes. We'll see it all before settling into yet another amazing camp for the night. You won't want to miss the next chapter of this adventure. We look forward to seeing you.